Hey Shantini, how are you?
Hey Tamika, I am well. How are you?
I am good. I'm smiling. So I'm really excited for our interview and our chat because I'm all about skincare and I know you are too. So yay us.
Yes.
So as you guys see, pardon?
No, I said I'm super excited.
Me too. We have our spa section set up. Shantini is an amazing esthetician. I fell in love with her because I saw her do makeup and she did such a fab job. But more importantly, why I fell in love with her is her foundation is skincare, and I love good skin, and I love anybody who can focus on that. So Shantini, what made you transition from like not just doing makeup, but I want to make sure that the skin behind the glow is just as important?
Yes. So here's the thing. Like, I've been doing makeup for, I don't know, maybe almost 10 years. And I wanted to expand, just educationally, knowledge-wise. And I would always get questions from clients about their skin, right, as I'm doing makeup. And while as a makeup artist, you do have exposure and knowledge about enough skincare, right? That's a part of prepping the skin, has always been a part of creating a really flawless canvas and kind of building upon that. But what I found was I just really wanted to know more. And I decided to go back to school, and once I got to school, I kind of had a vision of like, all right, so this would be, once I graduate from school and get my experience, I will just be adding this on to all of my lovely makeup clients, and they'll get amazing skin service, and then their face beat, right? Lo and behold, of course, as you know, we'll make a plan when God laughs. Like, I had no idea that I would fall in love with the skin in the way that I did, so much so that I only want to focus on skin health and helping people achieve their optimal skin goals. It's so therapeutic on both levels. It's healing, and again, like even in the dynamic of as a makeup artist, there's a beautiful exchange between you and client where trust is involved, because they're really trusting you to make sure that they put their best face forward. But when I really dived into the skincare aspect, I was just like, wow, this doesn't have to be a one-off kind of thing. This is like an ongoing relationship, an amazing way to really support people in helping them achieve their skin goals, whatever that is. And ultimately for me, that's healthy skin, So it's fascinating. It's nerdy, skin science. I'm a nerd,
It is beautiful because when you take off the makeup, that's what you have. It's like your skin, and I think
yes.
So I'm in love. So what we're gonna do today is, as we talk, Shantini has a beautiful line of skincare. So if you guys want to get it, I promise I'll put it in the description below so that you can purchase yours. I have mine that is so good. So she's going to walk us through the steps while we talk about, life, her DIY project, which is an amazing initiative that she has. And just look at that glow. I mean, look at the glow.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and start. You're going to walk us through the steps, and then I'm going to ask you questions as we go. And we are all set. I have my lemon.
Yes. Yeah. Let me drink my little tea.
We decided just because we weren't on lockdown, it does not mean we cannot have fun. We have
exactly.
She told me to do the rap, guys.
Just make it a whole experience. So as we were kind of getting into this quarantine time, one of the things that is obvious is that, we can't be in the treatment room. And so what I wanted to do was create a moment of self-care and just skincare for people who needed that time. And also just making sure to get their glow on, even in this sort of a lockdown that we're experiencing. I try to be careful with my language and, saying that we're safe at home. But there is a part of it that's just like, get me out of here. So this is just sort of like creating an escape, So this line is a professional cosmeceutical grade line that I use in the treatment room. So I thought it really important to incorporate in part of my creating my glow home kit is what I'm calling it, because I want you to glow even though you're home. And so the first thing we're gonna do, again, just creating an experience around it, is to create our own facial steam. So we have our hot tea kettle, which we're gonna go ahead and pour in now. You got your kettle.
Yes.
We're gonna pour that into our large bowl. You'll start to see the steam. Steamy.
So I should have my bowl in front of me.
Yes.
Right.
Pull it over. Perfect. And then we have, now this is up to you in terms of what you want to put in the contents of your steam. I'm using a blend of herbs and dried rose petals. And you can just sprinkle that into your mixture here. And let that just sort of sit for a little bit and steep. If you have like a towel, you can feel free to kind of put it over it.
Mm-hmm. And I should put in my bay leaves now?
Yes, put your leaves in.
I got bay leaves, guys.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you. And I'm gonna use my clean, oh, I can smell it already.
Right? Can't you? The aroma is beautiful. Yes. And just kind of cover it for like a second. Just let that steep. Perfect.
I'm excited. Okay.
Yeah. Give that like you can give that like 30 seconds.
It smells so good.
It smells so good, right? It's so aromatherapeutic. And once we kind of get our face hovering over there. All right, we can go ahead and get ready to take that off.
Okay.
And really just like, just feel the steam, kind of hover your head right over there. Do you feel the steam kind of rising?
Okay, let's make sure.
You have the aroma, you have the steam, and that's just kind of opening up the pores, softening the skin so we can get it ready for what we're about to do. And this part honestly is up to you. Like you could make this a whole moment. You could be on here for, I wouldn't say no more than like 10 minutes though, but we can do a couple of minutes just to kind of really prep the skin.
And it smells good.
It smells so good. Just take a couple of deep breaths to inhale.
It calms you. It's like this calming, and it goes into you. Oh my gosh.
Yes, and exhale and just kind of let the aroma kind of settle in. We've all been kind of having a bit of stress, so this is just a moment to really de-stress and take that in. Inhale and exhale.
I honestly didn't think I would have enjoyed this so much. Like if I relax too much, I'll probably fall in this hot water and sleep.
Okay. And how does your skin feel right now? Do you still feel a little moisture to the skin? How's your skin feeling?
It feels a little bit moist. I can feel the moist.
Okay, perfect. So this is a good indicator that we're kind of ready to get started with our cleanse. The skin is nice and soft and ready to receive what we're about to do. Okay, perfect. So we can lift up, and then the side that you have, the side of water that you have, just dip your hands in there, and we're gonna grab our cleanser. So we're gonna do the green tea citrus cleanser, and
this is
your cleanser. Perfect.
Mine is pomegranate.
And so, yes. Oh yeah, so that's the thing. Mine is a green tea citrus cleanser. The Glow Home kits are customized to your skin type. You will start by taking a quiz that will determine your skin type. So this helps to make sure that you are using the products that are going to be right for you. So you have the pomegranate skin, the pomegranate cleanser, which is a little bit more of a creamy cleanser because it's meant to hydrate the skin and get the skin nice and ready. I have a bit more of like a combination skin type. And so I have something, the green tea cleanser has enough hydration, but not too oily for my skin, so it won't clog my skin.
While you talk,
I see you taking in your steam, girl.
I'm really enjoying the steam. All
right. So we're gonna open our cleanser. Yeah, so kind of dip your hands in the water. just to kind of get them moist, and then you'll just pour in a little bit of the cleanser. I'd say anywhere from about a nickel to a quarter size, and you'll just lather that in. If you need more water, you can dip.
My bottle didn't want to open. It opened.
Oh, it didn't?
Okay.
Okay, and we're gonna still even do this over the steam as we're cleansing. See, so your cleanser is a bit more creamy in texture. Perfect. Yeah, awesome. And then we're just gonna kind of put it right here. I like to kind of just start here and come up through the nose and around the face. Right. Right, and just kind of circle around. Now the key to a good cleanse is to cleanse for at least 60 seconds. Feel free to bring it down here. Don't forget, always don't forget about your neck. If you need to add more, add a little bit more water.
So rubbing.
Yes. Lather it up. Perfect. And again, your cleanser is a little bit different, right? Because it's creamier in texture.
It is.
You're not going to see a ton of foam. Even with mine, you don't see a ton of foam, right? You want to be careful when you're, if you have a cleanser that's a foaming cleanser, the sulfates that are needed to create a foaming cleanser can sometimes be stripping to the skin. Right. All right. And now you just kind of go in circular motions. I like to start a little bit like right on the chin area and do tiny little circles along through the jawline. And take this time to like really massage it in, right? Naturally, you hold tension in this jaw area. So this is a good opportunity to really break up that muscle, kind of soften the muscle. Feel free to take it right into the, right here. Perfect.
I'm enjoying this. You have no idea. It feels
so good. And then you always want to go in an upward motion. So even when you're doing your circles, you're kind of pushing upwards. We're all trying to defy gravity here.
Yeah.
As everything starts to hang low as we're aging by the day. So just kind of those upward motions are key. And feel free to give some attention right in the cheeks right here.
And it feels so good on my skin. Like, I know that you guys are not seeing like ladders, but I'm telling you, like, it feels so nice and creamy and smooth. It just has this amazing texture on my skin, and I love the feel.
Feels good. And even like when you take the time to kind of go around like the eye socket area, kind of go on these little circles, and feel free to press in. So you want, when you're doing this, so you can see my fingers that I'm using are what we call SD fingers, and so it's our like ring finger and middle finger, right? Because like the middle finger gives enough pressure, and then the ring finger is still just lighter in pressure. Really help manipulate the muscles. Do you feel the difference there? All right, feel free to kind of give your temple a little massage.
Let me see. My hands are magic.
Yes.
I am loving this moment.
I love it.
And I love the fact that it's customized to your skin tone, to like not your skin tone, but to your skin texture or what type of skin you have, because I feel like that's important. A lot of times we just buy because somebody else told us to purchase something. We take time to figure out what our skin really needs, and then it doesn't work. But it didn't work because it wasn't for your skin.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna get ready to remove that.
Oh, do we have to?
There'll be more moments of massagingness.
Yes. Love it. Okay.
All right. So you can take your towel. I know you use your cleaning towels to remove.
I do. So
I dampened my towel just a touch. I just kind of dampened it a little bit, just a touch, so that we can remove that easily.
Right, let's go. So
Perfect.
just need to. Oh, this is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And by this water is a little bit warm that I'm using. Oh,
Feels
it's
good.
better. Like, you know, I'm definitely going to do more of these treatments when I get out of quarantine.
Me too. Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Perfect.
I think I got everything. I hope I got everything.
Good.
So is there
It looks like you did.
I did?
Yeah, it looks good. From what I can see.
So when you wipe it, you just wipe just to make sure you take off everything, like when
Yeah, get everything off, right? So again, we're creating a moment of self-care. If you were sort of going about your day, you would wash your face, do your lather for 60 seconds, and then kind of take the water, and rinse it off in the sink or in the shower, wherever you are. We're literally sitting down and creating a moment. So like wetting the towel, it's a moment. It's a whole moment. So it's a little bit different. All right, so now
something that you could do, something you could offer where you have like a group of girls, or like how you
I was actually
like
thinking
spa
about
time.
that. A spa, yes. I was thinking about hosting a Zoom like spa fiesta thing.
I would come to that.
Okay, I'm with it.
And you sell your packages real cute, and we'd be like,
yes. I was actually thinking about that. So yes, that's confirmation that I need to get on it.
I think it's much needed. I also think it's a great way for us to support each other during this time, business-wise, mentally, emotionally. I think it's so important. So I'm excited. I will definitely go to that.
Okay. Let me get it together. And throw a party. I'm gonna throw a sparty.
I'm all for it. My lemon water is ready.
I love it. Okay, so now we're going to exfoliate. So after you cleanse, getting the skin nice and prepped and clean, you want to exfoliate. Exfoliating helps to get rid of the dead skin cells. And getting rid of the dead skin cells not only helps with cellular turnover, so that you are getting to newer, fresher skin cells to kind of help kind of achieve that glow. What it also is doing as we're exfoliating is prepping the skin for all of the other products and steps in the routine. Because if something is dead and you put something on it, where is it going? It's just going to stay there. So you want to remove all of the dead skin cells so that anything else you apply on the skin, if it's a product that is meant to be active or to achieve certain goals in your skin, you need to make sure that you're not layering it on dead skin cells. So when you exfoliate, you want to do that at least, for the most part, at least like 2 times a week, at least. Right now with the Glow Home Kit, this is an experience. So this particular kit will get you at least 4 treatments within this particular kit. But we do also offer the fuller size versions. So if you want to make this a more consistent part of your skincare routine, we have options for you in that as well. All right, so I'm never a proponent of like, oh, let me just dip my finger in things. So we're gonna use our trusty old spatula here. It's just a wooden palette here.
It comes with everything, guys. So there's nothing you need to. The only thing you get for yourself is a bowl of hot water, and if you don't have it in your house, then you probably don't cook. So
I would hope people have a teapot or a microwave where you can heat up some water, right?
Literally comes in this cute little package. Everything is inside, and there's even a beautiful brush, and I'm excited to do with it later on.
Yes, we're actually going to get ready to use that in a second. So as you're taking out your exfoliator, it's a retinol scrub, and so this is a twofold. So you have it on grab your brush. Perfect.
Shantini is teaching us to be hygienic at home too.
Listen, if we're washing our hands, we're trying to stay safe from corona. We want our skincare products to also be corona free, okay?
Of course.
All right, and so you just kind of dip the brush in there, and then you'll start to apply. what you have. I like to start on the jawline. And just kind of get it on there. Now, how's it feeling? A little creamy
and cool. Yeah, it has this cool from the wet before to the cool.
Now you also may experience a little bit of a tingle. It's not unusual. It shouldn't be too bad, but you will feel a little bit of a tingle. And just get it on there.
My camera is opposite sides.
Oh, is it?
So this is like so much stress. This is so unique to me. My skin is like, girl, and you applied there already, but I can't see.
I know, that's what I'm trying to look into. It's always like, this part is always funny when you're recording it. Like, did I get that part?
Sometimes it takes you a minute to actually get the part.
So
what is your favorite thing about skincare?
That's such a good question. My favorite thing, now let me clarify. My favorite thing in terms of doing skincare, like treatments on people, or in general, skincare on myself?
Let's do both.
Okay.
Your favorite thing to do on people, what's your favorite thing to do for you? Let's do
Okay. So my favorite thing to do with people is actually not in the actual treatment hands-on as much as I absolutely love that. So I'm such a touchy-feely person. And my hands are also magic. Yeah, magic hands. I love educating people on what to do for their skin. There's so much information out there, especially in the world of YouTubeversity. And it's not necessarily always right for your skin or tailored to your skin. So it's really important for me to make sure that I educate my clients on what's important for their routine and what's going to help them achieve their specific goals, because it's not all created equal. Products aren't all created equal. Treatments aren't all created equal. And sometimes, for the most part, skin is always changing. And so being abreast of what's happening with the skin is so important to your general skincare routine. So I love helping walking people through that, especially people who haven't developed a skincare routine yet. That's always so fun. I love newbies. On me personally, I love to exfoliate. I do. I love exfoliation. I like, maybe about 2 weeks ago, I did a glycolic peel. That's not something you should try at home. It's a professional treatment. But I was having some breakouts and I needed to work on them. And so, yeah, I went to town. So personally, I like doing it. Actually, I'm gonna pick two. I also really like dermaplaning myself. If you don't know what dermaplaning is taking a surgical scalpel, and it helps to, it's a form of exfoliation. I told you I like exfoliation. It's a form of exfoliation that it literally, I'm going to use the word shave, but doesn't shave the face, but it helps to remove the dead skin cells, as well as what's called the peach fuzz or vellus hair on the face. So it's a pretty intense form of exfoliation, using literally a surgical scalpel, and you're scraping along the skin to get rid of the dead skin cells. I really like doing that treatment on myself, and in treatment room too. Yeah. How's it feeling on you?
It feels good. I feel a little bit of tingle. Nothing
a little tingle?
bad. It's very slight tingle, but nothing like crazy. But
good.
I feel. And this like stays for how long?
So you want to keep the mask on for about like 10 minutes max. Yeah.
So guys, we're gonna look like this for the next 10 minutes. Just in case you started the video from right here, I suggest you go to the, start from the top so you don't think that we're just here.
This is what we look like. You're like, oh, did they just put mayonnaise on their face?
Oh my God. So if you were to recommend someone that is now starting out with skincare, now getting into it, because as I I've had pretty good skin my entire life.
Mhm.
And so I've always fell back on, you know, I have good skin. I don't need to do nothing.
Mhm.
So, and I told
Mhm.
you were one of the people that kind of educated me on just because you have good skin does not mean that you don't need to maintain it, and it doesn't mean that it'll transcend as you get older. So while you have a chance now, start to take care of it. So if it was a newbie, the first time, what would be the first steps that you would give or advise someone to start a new skincare regimen, to have healthy skin, to have good skin?
Okay, perfect. So I really think, again, having a great cleanser that is tailored to your skin type, that's not going to strip your skin. A really good exfoliator, again, like this is a step we are in now, to help to remove the dead skin cells. The other thing that is important to me in terms of taking care of your skin are making sure that the skin is hydrated. A lot of times people, even with the most amazing skin, can be walking around here and the skin is very, very thirsty. It's super dehydrated. It is, you know, and it can be caused by anything, products that you're not using properly. You know, if your diet is off, if you're not drinking enough water, if you're stressed out, if you know, your apartment like mine gets super hot and you're losing water. So the skin goes through what's called trans-epidural water loss. And it's almost like, you know, when you have a glass of water and you leave the water overnight and you come back and you're like, oh wait, who drank my water? It's because the water evaporated. So our skin goes through that process quite frequently. And so making sure to keep the skin hydrated is like baseline for skincare for me. Usually when someone comes in the treatment room, before we even start attacking a pimple, if the skin is dehydrated, that's what I'm treating first, because dehydration can sensitize the skin. You want to make sure the skin is ready to receive, all of the treatment that you were trying to help it with. And so dehydration is something that I definitely combat. And with that, for a home care routine, which we're going to kind of go into shortly, is having hydrating products. So I'll usually leave you with a hydrating toner and a hydrating serum. That's so key to making sure that you are using ingredients that are going to help to lock in the skin's moisture. And that's kind of a baseline for healthy skin. In addition, I just make sure that you have a vitamin C. Those are kind of like my two staples, like hydration, antioxidant protection, to incorporate into the more, I guess I would say, the more like advanced treatments into your normal skincare routine, is what I would say are my go-to. And of course you have a moisturizer that, again, tailored to your skin type, you know. And lastly, an SPF. I know as people of color, I think SPF is a little bit newer for us in terms of using it regularly, because we got melanin on our side. And so while melanin does protect us some, it's not enough protection. Melanin only really gives us about an SPF of 8. And that's not enough to target anybody's UV rays. So having at least an SPF of 30 in your routine daily is important. Every day. I know. You're like,
See,
and this is when I learned it. What'd you say?
See, I'm learning something new that I did not know.
Yes, daily protection. And even more so in the summertime, because most people that, I say, do you wear SPF? Oh yeah, I wear it in the summertime. I'm like, no, make it a daily practice. Especially if you are trying to combat like some deeper skin issues like hyperpigmentation. That's really common in my clientele and common in people of color, trying to even out the skin tone. And I've been guilty of this too. You're like, oh, I'll go out in the sun and get a tan, and it kind of evens everything out. When you lose that tan, those areas that were already hyperpigmented are now darker because you've exposed it to the sun and you haven't protected it. So you think that you're doing it justice by kind of trying to even everything out. But if you're not protecting those areas, the parts that are already hyperpigmented are going to get darker. So I'm definitely a proponent of SPF.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of the sort of in the nutshell. It sounds like a lot, But it's those steps are so important. And why not take the time out for yourself?
It is good to know, though. I think it's important. I feel like a lot of times people don't know because they're not educated. We have, these different things. And again, learning to adjust for your skin type and learning to adjust based on, who you are is extremely important. Because for years we can be using a product that is not tailored to you. It's not tailored to your skin type. It's not tailored to your color. It's just not tailored to you at all. And you're just then applying something over and over, and sometimes you wonder why nothing's happening. What's going on? So after I started educating myself, and I think it's important that we follow people that will educate us so that they can inspire us to, do better and know better. So I'm all for it. I've seen a lot where they talk about like superfruits for skin. You had to decide, or first of all, are you for superfruits? And if you had to choose one that is like, okay, get this every day, it's gonna help with your skin, it's gonna help with your health, what would that be?
So I'm definitely into superfruits, can't even say that word right. Superfruits. And if I were to choose, I'd definitely go with vitamin C. Vitamin C. Vitamin C provides antioxidant protection. It helps with brightening the skin. It helps with aging. So the idea with the antioxidant protection, the way the skin works, is that there's free radicals on the skin, and the cellular process that happens with that, where you lose molecules, or you have like these free radicals that are kind of stealing molecules because they're trying to get stable, and they just end up making other cells unstable. So it's just like the vitamin C helps to slow down that process, which in turn slows down like the aging process. Again, it helps with brightening. There's so many benefits with like vitamin C. So I would say vitamin C, definitely topically, and of course we know we can ingest vitamin C. Did I just go out? Did you see me?
Yeah, you went out.
Okay, sorry. I need a charger, but hold on a second. Babe, is there a charger? 2 seconds, sorry.
No problem, take your time.
Okay. Yeah, so I was saying that vitamin C is definitely a great ingredient to incorporate daily in your routine. You can always, ingest it. Of course, we know about your emergency packs and taking your vitamin C supplements. It is a great ingredient to have in your routine.
Gotcha. So I'm all for the vitamin C. I love vitamin C. I love it in oranges, grapes, lemon. I don't like lime that much, but
interesting.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm not a fan of lime like that, unless it's like I'm cleaning chicken, lime juice. So you have to wash it before you cook it.
Yes.
But I'm not crazy about lime.
Okay. That's funny.
It makes my glands do the
okay.
But I could have, like I said, I have the lemon water. I can put the lemon in my mouth right now. I can take the juice. I don't want to say it, in a weird way. So, but you know what I'm saying? Take the juice.
Yes.
But lime and me, we don't have a good relationship.
All right, well, just stay away from the lime.
We broke up, and it's like lime does not know how to get back into my good graces.
Yes.
I've done a lot of before now. When I started to, take care of it. I love natural skincare products. As natural as it can be. I know all the times it can. I remember I used to take fresh avocado, and I would smash the avocado, put some oats, some fresh lemon juice, and my husband would say that I'm wasting food. And he gets so he's like, you're wasting food. Or I take like fresh oranges, and I'll make myself like from scratch.
Yeah.
And I brought one of the things that I was using. I said, look at the ingredients. I said, do you see it's oatmeal? And do you see that it's aloes? And do you understand that everything else you can't pronounce? That means we don't know what it's for.
That's so funny.
I was like, so why am I buying these products that have a bunch
You're
of
like,
everywhere?
I've already created something that this product has in it, so like, what's the point? Now, I will say this: I am okay with some natural remedies, but I do think a balance of the two is important. Just because they have enhancers that help to make sure that the products they blend well, they last longer. They don't go bad on you, that kind of thing. So I'm kind of like a little bit of both. Like I'm okay with some natural and some home remedies, but I also think like there's some, when you're trying to target certain things, you need to bump it up a little bit. And when things are formulated correctly in the lab and they're tested and proven. Then I'm like, all right, yeah, okay. Then you know if something goes wrong, you got somebody to go to now. If something goes wrong in your kitchen, you're like, uh-oh.
I will go find the farmers and be like, I'll find Quaker Oats and be like, listen, there was something wrong with your oats.
What had happened was, yeah.
And then they were like, nobody told you to mix up avocado honey based on milk. I have water.
All right, I think we're probably just about ready to take this off. How's it feeling? Does it feel like a little bit of like kind of tightness, sort of like?
Yes, I feel like from here and here.
Yeah, kind of just
and a little
dry. Perfect. So we're gonna take a little water in our hands.
I'm guessing this is how women do Botox for you.
I've never done Botox. I have a few areas that I'm interested. Well, maybe more so one area. And that's it's my brows. I'd like to do like a little bit of a sort of a lift.
So good.
Lift. These are microbladed. I didn't have good brows, so I had to pay for them. You have such a great arch though. My brows sit really low, and so microblade is a lifesaver. And so now I just want to kind of like lift it just a touch, and I know that a little support from Botox might be helpful. Oh gosh. Okay, so we're gonna dip our little hands in the water, kind of just get the fingers a little lather, because what I want to do is just kind of now buff that in. So you're gonna feel now the granules. Yeah. This is the scrub effect. So we're just kind of buffing away the dead skin cells. So this mask, I love it because it's kind of twofold. You can let it sit and let the ingredients penetrate and work its magic. And then you have what's called a physical exfoliator. Because now you can kind of buff the dead skin cells away. So it's twofold.
This is so interesting to me. You have no idea. Because usually after I exfoliate, I just go and wash it off.
Yeah. So this one, again, because it has gold, and I usually recommend this with any type of scrub exfoliant, which is called physical exfoliant, that you let it sit on the skin first, and then go in and buff. Because a lot of times scrubs get a bad rap because they can be aggressive if they're not made with quality ingredients. If like the apricot scrubs and that kind of things are really harsh for the skin, and it can create micro tears in the skin. So scrubs generally tend to get a bad rap. So the goal though is, once you let that sit, you're kind of being a little bit more gentle, as opposed to if we started off scrubbing and you're like, okay, I got to get these dead skin cells off. You're going to be really vigorous with your motions. So this is just now buffing, which is why I'm using the word buff instead of scrub, because it just has a different connotation on the skin, right? You think of buffing, you think of like polishing the skin. So you're going to be a little bit more gentle. As opposed to scrubbing, if you have to kind of get a piece of a stain out or something. This is why I approach pretty much any scrub in this manner. You let it sit on the skin and then buff away.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I love the feel.
Mm-hmm.
Has this nice, gritty.
Yeah. But not harsh, you know? It's like just enough texture. Okay. And we can go ahead. Feels good? Yeah, go ahead and take that off.
Scrub, you can feel this nice softness that I like.
Yes. So grab another towel, dip that in, and then we're gonna get the scrub off. And so you're gonna see, once you wipe that off, you're gonna start to see it's gonna look a little yellow. So retinol in general just adds a little bit of a yellow tinge to it.
Oh. I feel a little fancy. So Shantini, what influenced you to do the Beauty in You project?
That's a passion project right there. So the Beauty in You project, the DIY project, that's such a close space in my heart, because when I was younger, in my like early 20s, I struggled with like depression and kind of feeling worthy and, you know, feeling alone in that process too. And over the years, you know, getting support and really working through a lot of that with therapy and healing in that regard, I wanted to make sure that other people didn't feel alone, and people knew that this is, you can feel free to talk about the things that sort of you're either struggling with, or you don't have to be ashamed by it. And so God actually brought the vision about that in my heart space, in my mind. I was watching a Facebook Live video, and the presenter was one of those conferences. I think it was Lucinda Cross's The Big Ask. And so once she asked the audience, and again, I'm just watching this live, and she asked the audience, like, how will you serve? And so I remember God placing that on my heart to create a space for women to be vulnerable and open about some of those things, and to still identify with themselves as beautiful and worthy in spite of. And as a beauty professional, it just sort of made sense to incorporate the beauty platform and the beauty context to that work. And so I designed my first workshop around makeup terminologies and beauty techniques, and using that as the core of what drives a more deeper, in-depth conversation. And you were part of my panel for the last one, which was called Lipstick. And that particular one was really talking about the power of your words, like what you say to yourself, what you say to other people, and the fact that what you have what comes out of your mouth actually can stick, right? So what comes out of your lips stick, right? So be intentional about the words that you're saying, the words that you're choosing, the words that you're choosing to describe yourself, to describe other people, because they land, right? A lot of times we've had things that, you know, our parents or someone we may have encountered, a teacher or something that they said that still weighs on us. And so being mindful about how you vocalize who you are, how you present yourself in the world, those things really matter. And so, yeah, the DIY project has definitely been an amazing way to connect and to just share part of my story that, you know, people may not have necessarily known, and to just share that, like, look, we all go through stuff, and there's no shame in who you are or what it is that you've gone through, because it can be a healing space for other people. And I just wanted to be a voice for that, and show that beauty has so many aspects. Beauty is courage. Beauty is like you showing up for yourself, like even on the hardest days. Like that to me is what's really beautiful. You know, we can throw on all of the makeup and the fancy lashes and get our skin all the way right and all those things. But at the core, when you see yourself in the mirror, like, what are you saying to yourself? What are you focusing on? And being mindful of those stories that are replaying. And if it's a negative story, or if it's something that is not serving you, do your work to change it, because you have the power to do that, you know. So just creating spaces for women where that's okay, you know. And we're like, you know what, I went through that too, or something similar, you know, and hey, I've overcome, kind of thing. And so yeah, it's just it's my heart space. I get all like passionate when I talk about it.
Oh, because the first time I met you, you were like beautiful and bubbly, and it was nice also to know that, and you know, we can only assess based on what we see in people.
Yeah.
Unless the Lord reveals a few other things, mostly you can assess. And if I didn't go to the DIY project, I wouldn't have known. And during that time, so many people got healing from it that you didn't expect. Yes. And it's amazing when one woman tells her stories, and then so many women can relate to it, and they find strength in it, and then from there they're able to build a community and build each other up. That's why I love platforms, where genuine platforms where women are building each other up. I think it's so good. And because so often you hear different things about, you know, even as being Black women, you hear you know, being dark skinned, you hear about, you know, where you came from, how you speak, how you carry yourself. If you get upset, you're this. So those kind of things stick to you over time. And some people hear worse things. That's just me being really nice and, you know, putting some fluff on the yeah. But it's nice to have that community where, because for me, when I walked into the space, I didn't know what to expect. I was nervous. But when I walked in, it was so much love. I felt like I was with my girls. Like we were, you know, having, you know, some tea, and we were chilling. I was like, yo, this time I let everybody there for the first time except you. And, but I felt at home, and I loved it. But I'm glad you listened to your heart, and you listened to the voice, and you listened to God, and you did it.
Yes, it was, I didn't move right away. I heard him, but I didn't move right away. It took me about 2 years of sitting the ideas on the computer before actually building up the courage to do it. Because it does take courage. It takes courage to be that vulnerable, right? And to your point, right? You're like, oh, I see you, and I would have had no idea. And it's like, you know, a lot of times we get fearful about like what other people would think. And honestly, when I look at that, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm still a super bubbly and excited. Like those are all parts of me, you know, like I'm a whole person with whole feelings and whole experiences. And so like that was an experience that helped to shape me, right? That it could have taken me out literally, but it didn't. And so because it didn't, it's my responsibility to share, so that the thing that a sister is probably feeling like, oh, it's going to take me out, or I can't do it, but they will also feel like, oh no, but I can, right? Like it's going to be hard, it's not going to be pretty, like, you know, pretty in all sense of the words. And like one of the things that the theme of it, the experiences usually, is that we expose the ugly, challenge the story, and illuminate your beauty. And so I was very careful in picking the language of that tagline, because it's like expose the ugly, and that's in quotes, right? The ugly, challenge the story, and illuminate your beauty. So the only thing that you have ownership over that through all of it, right? It's the part that makes you beautiful. It's yours. right? It's the story is the story that you may have been telling yourself. You can change that. You know, the experience that was just ugly, it was that experience. You know, you can sort of separate yourself from that. But what you own is your beauty, the strength, the courage that it takes to kind of be who you are in spite of, you know. So that's my heart work.
I love it.
Yeah, so I usually host events during Mental Health Awareness Month, which is May and now, and we're in quarantine. And so I feel a push to do a virtual situation, but I'm not sure yet how to pull it off. But we go. I'm figure it out before the end of May.
You sip in my water every
so
time I hear you say about virtual get together. I'm like,
yes, exactly. Yeah. So now we are going to tone our skin. We're gonna grab our cucumber hydrating toner. Okay, and so you have two ways that you can do that. In the kit, I included the cotton rounds, but if you want, and I think I'm gonna do this today, you can just pour it in your hand and kind of press it into the skin. You have two options. I'm gonna do the pour and press just because I'm all about the loving up on myself right now.
Who else can do it if we can't love on us?
Exactly. And so toning is a great step after you, like we just cleansed, we exfoliated. Toning is a great step because it rehydrates the skin and it acts as a vehicle for some of the other things. You see that? Look at how she's glowing. Look at those cheeks. Girl.
I just should have had some eyebrows and we would have been good.
You have a great brow bone structure.
I feel like God made my structure. Like he gave me a good baseline of everything, and then it's like, okay, so we're not gonna give you brows. We're gonna make sure this happens. I'm like, listen, you just made me a good empty canvas.
Oh, that's funny. That's too funny. Okay, so I just kind of poured a little bit into. You can, if you're gonna do just your hands, you can pour it right into the palm.
Oh, the palm. Ooh.
Yeah. Just because if we do the fingertips, it'll kind of just run through. Yeah. So just put a little bit in the palm and then kind of press it together, and then press it literally on, pressing it in the skin.
It smells so good.
Yes, it's the cucumber. It's hydrating, refreshing.
Oh, this made me remember Home Alone when Kevin.
So he's like.
Yeah.
Okay, and so we want to press it in, but we don't want it to dry before doing our next step, because what we're going to use it as the moisture as a vehicle to drive the other products in. Oh. And so now we're going to go ahead with our serum. This is a hydrating serum. Mm-hmm. It's a hyaluronic acid base, and we're gonna apply this the same way we just applied the toner, kind of by pressing it in. This is how I like to put on my serums.
Listen, all I hear half of the time is acid, and I'm like, why are you putting that?
So it sounds scary. So this one you can actually do a little bit closer to the fingertips. Just so the serums are, the way they're formulated, the molecular structure is a little bit smaller, and the concentration of ingredients is a little bit stronger because they're meant to be more corrective, or to help really give you sort of those solutions. And so they tend to be a little bit higher on the price point. So you don't ever want to waste it. So you don't want to pour it in. You can do kind of like our fingertips. The consistency of this is a little bit different. And then we're going to go ahead and press it in as well. So I like to kind of just do a few presses all over just to get the product everywhere. Mm-hmm. Okay. Perfect. And now we can just rub it in. Do our little circle motions.
My gosh. And I thought I used to take good care of my skin before now. What was I doing?
Well, now you have added techniques to help make sure your glow stays also beautiful.
Soft and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Oh yes. I'm like, look at that glow.
We ready to go outside now? You open the doors.
I love it. Oh, perfect. Okay, so I have a question for you, just logistically. So you probably have to cut this part. What should we do regarding, because moisturizer is the next and last step. So what shall we do?
What moisturizer you have?
I have the one that's supposed to go in the kit, but let me know what you have and I can just work along with you. Maybe we don't have to show it in frame.
Okay, then I guess, does it need to be something that is glowy, or is it like, because I have a skin oil.
No, I wouldn't do an oil. Do you have like a traditional moisturizer?
I have this repair cream from Tula.
Okay, that should work. Yeah, just something that you can kind of put in your hand and we can kind of manipulate the film that way.
No problem. So what I'll do, because I don't want to have an uneven look in the...
Yes.
So you look at the back like, wait, that thing is...
Yes,
because you know you have people.
Yes, continuity. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put this back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, perfect. All right, so now, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now our final step is applying the moisturizer. Perfect, nice and creamy. And again, I really like to get it everywhere first. Perfect. And then just kind of, oh, this feels good. Oh man. And this is a time that you can really like work those muscles, like lift. Mm-hmm.
During this time, I've been asked consistently what I'm gonna do once outside opens up. First, I'm gonna ask you, and then I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna come to you to have a facial.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Like I miss it so much. Like it's so funny. I was talking to my sister recently and we were just talking about how I've had to like pivot quite a bit and like move things online and really focus more on like product sales and things like that, which has been great. But I'm just like, I miss touching on folks. Like it's such a beauty. Oh my gosh, sorry, this thing feels so good. How are you feeling over there? This feels so good.
To fall in this chair, I'll just be like, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so I feel like I can't wait. Whoever my first appointment is gonna be, y'all gonna get.
Can I be your first Shantini? Can I be your first appointment?
Oh.
I'm dead serious. Like I need.
Like, oh my gosh. And you know, because I've also been taking this time during the quarantine to get more continuing education hours in. So I've added some things to the repertoire. So it's oh yeah. I recently did a course with Michelle Obama's former esthetician.
Ooh.
Y'all gonna be getting that Michelle O treatment, okay?
I'm ready. In the words of Tiffany Haddish, she ready.
Listen, Linda. Yeah, so I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't. Yeah, but you know, in the meantime, I've been able to stay connected with clients. We're doing virtual sessions. Yes. Isn't it amazing? It feels so good. Your skin is nice and hot. Yes. So good. And this is why I love skincare, because it's just like,
And these points that I have, the naturally always
glowing
points that naturally do this, and I'm like, I don't know why they do it, but they do.
People pay for that. Okay, people pay good money for that natural glow.
Like these here, right here, here, and here, and I'll be like, I remember the first time somebody's like, "What makeup are you wearing?" Because all my interviews, I've done natural. I've just done my eyebrows and my lip, and I go, oh. She's like, "But you have points." I'm like,
yes, I mean, but you know, everyone has those highs and low planes of the face. They just show up differently. Yours got that extra like even blessed by the Lord, like
I'm gonna get the skin and no eyebrows. We'll have a conversation.
Listen, you can't have it all, Tamika. You can't have it all. You gotta save some stuff for the rest of us. You have to.
My sister had a good eyebrow. Like, she came out and it's like she grabbed all the eyebrows when she was leaving mommy, and she's like, "We'll figure something. I'll see you later."
That is so funny.
Yeah, but
I think everybody in my family got struggle brows. It's a family thing. I can't even. Not a one. Oh, except the guys. Like the guys. My brother has good brows. Yeah. But the rest of us. Yeah. That's it. Nobody else. We all got struggle brows.
What do you miss the most, Shantini, about outside? What are you missing most? Apart from your clients, because we know you miss them a lot.
Yes. What am I missing the most about outside? The freedom of being outside. Like, right now is such a production to go outside. You got to make sure your mask is on. You got to, you know, it's you come back in, you're taking everything off and leaving it at the door. That freedom is what I'm missing most. You know, I can't say I'm missing a particular place. It literally is the freedom of coming and going as I please. And not having it be a thing, or because I feel like every time you or I open the door, there's a like, you know, it's like this chest grabbing, like, okay, be ready for outside. Where that never used to be a thing. You would just go outside. And so there's a clench that has happened that I'd love to be freed from. So the freedom of coming and going and doing is what I miss the most. Yeah.
Well, I can support
that. How about you?
I think I would say the same, because the thing is, before I was always a homebody. I work from home. My husband works from home. My son is homeschooled. I'm never an outside person that crazy much, but I still had the option to leave when I wanted to. So it's like a lot of times we would, like, I shouldn't say a lot of times, but very few times I've been out since. If we go to the store, I stay in the car because I just don't want to go put on gloves and mask. I just stay inside the car and that's it. I wait 2 weeks for Amazon Prime to decide to deliver something, or Amazon Fresh, and I'm okay with that because it's too tedious for me to have people look at you weird and people not be kind. Like I went somewhere the other day, I stood outside the car, I was about to tell the lady hi, she just turned her face like, "Girl, don't talk to me, you got corona." Right. So this is what it is now. We thought New York was sideways before. Now y'all really proving it's true.
Oh my gosh, I was in the post office recently, and it turned into one of those moments where people were getting at each other, and somebody was like, "World star," and I was like, "Oh my God, what's happening? You know, and I'm just like, okay, people, like, let's. It's hard, you know. I'm missing people's smiles. You know, you walk outside, like, I'm that type of person. I'm outside, and people always look at me weird for this. I'm that type of person though that would be outside and say, you know, I'll smile just randomly at folks, just, you know, because I do. And so I missed that. Like, I ran into someone again at the post office, and
I know what you mean.
That's a big listen, right? That's where I go, y'all. That's where I go. Make sure I get your packages out. But yeah, I ran into a friend and she had some really exciting news to share. And like, I'm like, I hope you can see the like excitement in my eyes because like you couldn't, you know, and you can hear it in my voice because like you can't see how big I'm smiling and how much I want to be like, yay, right now. So it's moments like that I truly miss. Like it's, you know, don't do it. We definitely gonna leave this not taking those things for granted. So
yeah, I've always been the person, and the weird thing with this quarantine is, I guess because there's always a plus and a negative.
mm-hmm.
I've always been a person, and those are my friends and family would tell you, I've always said my greatest asset or my greatest way of love is time. That is my language. For me, that's everything. I feel like everything else fades away. I feel like money fades, wealth fades, you know, your house, material things fade. But then at the end of it, what I have is the memory of the time we spent together. Yeah. So that has always been my thing. So because of that, I feel like being home has kind of showered me with the thing I love most.
Oh!
Time. I've had more time to talk to my friends. I've had more time to catch up. More time with my son. I know somebody said you guys are always home. I said, yeah, but we're always home busy still because you have to know you're in the house because my husband is in his office and I'm outside of mine. So it's still, and then my son's at school. So now we get to spend more time together. I get to, you know, so that for me has been the drawback. I've been able to catch up with so many of my friends that I even haven't spoken to. I want to say this. I'm going to say primary school. I'm not sure what it is over here, but primary school. So for me, that has been great.
That's good. That's really good.
And doing this, and finally us getting to sit down and chat because of our schedules, we weren't able to do it before.
Yes, we were supposed to do this a while ago, right? And now
you have nowhere to go.
Do it. Like, you're right. Looking at the blessings in that way too. Yes, we definitely have the time to do this. So that's great. Yeah, like I've always wanted to learn to play the guitar. My bae, he surprised me with a guitar. So I've been, you know, I've been like doing my little YouTube lessons and musician lessons on my phone, just trying to learn. It's very challenging, but I'm up for it. It's like, I don't know how to isolate my fingers. I didn't realize that. So I'm learning with the different chords. So that's been interesting. So there's definitely, you're right, some great things that are coming out of this time. Mm-hmm.
And then even again, one of the things I see, you know, people going to debate whether you should come out of this quarantine being extremely smart or just, you know, not smart at all. And the one thing that I have said is come out what makes you feel your best, whether it's that you need rest, because some people have been really going at it, being overtime before the quarantine, and they need the rest. So I don't think you should make them feel bad for taking the rest. And then some people really in real life. But I think that you figure out what is your best self and just come out your best self, whether it's rested or more ready to, you know, do more in life. But I don't think anybody should feel guilty in whichever choice they make.
Yes, it definitely is a choice because everyone is at different spaces and places in their journey. So yes, whatever this time is meant to be for you, that's just what it is. I think that's golden. That's golden.
Well, I've enjoyed my time.
Good, same here.
My face, it feels so good and soft. I'm gonna go rub it on Dale's face and purr.
Make sure his face is clean. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? I'm gonna keep my face to myself. It is so true.
Listen, wait. Make sure his hands are clean. Whenever this is funny. So clean hands are a thing, right? Even before quarantine.
Yeah.
So if I've just like did a treatment on my face, or even in general, and lover boy wants to come and I'm like, your hands clean. So he's gonna be tempted because he's gonna see how beautiful and extra glowy you are. Just be like, I love you, babe, but can you just make sure your hands are washed?
The thing that most people don't know about me is I do not like people touching my face. I have always been like that. I'm against people just, you have not, walk away. Because it's like, I'm always like, I don't know where your hands has been. My face is close to my mouth. Let's walk away from this. Don't touch my skin.
Yes, exactly.
Anybody can tell you that about me. Any of my friends will tell you, Do not touch my face unless you have permission. And that is
Yes.
a rare thing that you get permission, because I don't mess with my face.
And you shouldn't, because it's gorgeous and flawless. Okay? Flawless.
Yeah, I'm nice. I'll smile with you about everything. We're cool. I'll cook. I'll do anything for you. I'll help you clean. Just don't touch my face.
Don't touch my face.
No.
That's right, girl. That's it. That's it.
I can watch it like
preserve that pretty face.
Yeah, like for you, because of what you do, I won't have an issue with that. Like, you know, a lot of times, even before Andrew comes, it's like, you wash your hands? Even before this quarantine, has nothing to do with this quarantine. Did you wash your hands? So now he goes, Mommy, when I hug, I'm going to go wash my hands.
Oh, see, you got to listen. Train them from young. I love it. I love it.
I have definitely enjoyed my time with you. It was well spent.
Yes, this was really exciting. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes, I got skin education. I got glows. Mm-hmm. Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah. Your glass is so sexy. Your lemon water glass.
You'll get me a glass to be cute, but thank you. I really appreciate this. I do hope that we can do this again. I'm looking forward to your, spa day with the girl.
Yes.
I'm all for it, guys. And again, I have all Shantini's information down below in the description section. When you go to the link, it takes you immediately to a quiz so that you can figure out your skin type, because I know a lot of you don't know. I know I didn't know. I just knew my skin was very shady, and it was what it was when it wanted to be. But she let me know the type of skin I have, so which is good now. And it's really good. It smells nice. It leaves your skin feeling good. The towel is not included, so get your own. I didn't get to see. We didn't get to do those.
Oh, we didn't get to do those. So those, well, I guess we couldn't anyway. So this is for when you're like in your zone, right? So if you're doing this on your own, when you were sitting with the mask, then you can use that to cover. That's for you to kind of lounge with when you're using your mask. They're just hydrating cucumber eye pads. Yes.
Entire spa day, guys. Listen.
Yeah.
Even if I know you have your kids at home, but just say mommy needs about 30 minutes to herself. You deserve it.
Yes.
And you just go into a corner. If you have, get your hot water, get your petals, whatever it is, get the good aroma going and enjoy it.
Yes. You are glowing, girl. Yes. I love it.
So much I'm forgetting that I don't have eyebrows.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And
you are so welcome. Yes.
Cheers it out.
Cheers.